Hi everyone, and welcome to Club Deck Corner here at Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. It is only myself and Ross tonight. Mr. Carney has just started his new job, so I think he's here, there, and everywhere. So I think he's making an appearance, or I think he's back on Friday, so you'll see him then. And the other lads are busy with day-to-day lives. I know Mr. Mackay was watching some better football on Saturday. He was at the Bernabeu to watch Real Madrid. I think they're playing Osasuna. So it looks like he had an enjoyable day on Saturday watching them. But yes, my guest tonight is Ross. How are you doing tonight, Ross?
Good evening, mate. All good, thank you. All good. Yeah, not jealous of Mr. Mackay in the slightest. That's outrageous. But nah, looking forward to getting into some. I think there's one too many times as a Rangers therapy session needed, and tonight is definitely one of them. So let's crack on with it, mate, if we must.
Yeah, it looked like a good trip for Jamie. To be fair, him and Mr. Mackay Senior were having several red wines over in Madrid. So yes, I was jealous of them when I was sitting at Ibrox on Sunday at 5 o'clock watching absolute dross once again. But we'll get into it. We'll start with the Hearts game. Just before we get into the game, and obviously the lineup. Obviously, we got a good result in Europe on the Thursday night, and as we say in our group chat, and I talk to Carney about it all the time, I take Europe in isolation because it's completely different for me. There's no pressure on the team. The teams we play differently. They come out and play against Rangers, which suit Rangers. So I'll be honest, I was kind of expecting what I seen on Sunday. What was your thoughts going into the game before? Did you think Rangers could kick on from Thursday, or did you think we would morph back to the same old domestic form we've seen this season?
Yeah, I probably the latter, mate. To be honest, I think the one thing we said on Club Live on Friday was we need to see that bounce. We need to see some form of transition from European football to domestic football with consistency. And being brutally honest, going into Sunday, although I predicted 4-0, it's very. I know. Just no laughing at the back. There's
This is a
no.
negative podcast, Ross, for Christ's sake. You can't
I
just
I
predict
know.
the
I
four
know.
nils.
I know. It's a yellow card for me. But I was never really going in with much confidence. Obviously, Hearts, of course, at the moment they're not a great team. They've got decent individuals, but it shouldn't have been as hard work as it was. And the fact that we're coming away from a Hearts and a Hibs, who are both, let's be fair, not very good. Both of them coming away 1-0 wins is a bit embarrassing. Uh, And, if you even go back to the whole October November chat, here we are, middle of November, and we are, I don't know how you feel about it, mate, the worst I've seen us in probably a good amount of time. So, yeah, you can't be too optimistic, unfortunately, Rangers just now, and Sunday proved me right, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, there is that famous quote from Clement in terms of you will see a what is it, 200% improved Rangers or something in October, November. We are now sitting on the 12th of November as we record this. And I'll be honest, it's getting worse. I know we backtracked a couple of weeks ago and saying we'll see a better Rangers in a few more months. But yeah, the starting lineup for the game was Jack Butland in goal, James Tavernier at right back, John Suter, Balogun come back in for proper, Jeffy at left back. Then the midfield was Barron, Raskin, Diamandi playing the 10. Either side was Cherny, Barami, and Dessers up front. So the big one there, Ross, Tav was back in the team. I was in the Viceroy with Scotia just before the game, and the team came out, and there was a few mumps and groans because Tav was in the team. I find it a bit of a bizarre one, to be honest, because we're coming into an international break. Sterling, I thought, played well on Thursday night. I know he's trying to manage his minutes, but surely he could have started the game and then maybe brought Tav on later on in the game. But surely he can start knowing that we've got an international break coming. I don't know what your thoughts on Tav coming back in the team was.
Yeah, again on Club Live, I did think that Tab would come back in for games like that. I know that obviously form wise he's not nowhere near his peak just now. he is still the captain. I think the manager has proved that he does have his loyalties with players. For the benefit of the team or not, he will play Tav, and it didn't surprise me that he came in, to be honest. I think Clement, he's on a very shaky peg for a few reasons. One of them being his team selection. We could have been caught out at the weekend. If we drop points, then you know, don't get me wrong, I think the league's. I don't want to sound too negative. I think the league's gone, but
The league
if we
is
drop,
done. Let's be
yeah,
honest about it, it's
aye,
done.
I'm holding on a wee bit too much there. The Clement, if he keeps making these decisions, it's just going to get even worse. You'll be 12 points by Christmas. It'll be even worse than it already is. So, from that point of view, Clement just needs to. I don't know if he's even seen the international break as a, I'll try it, and then there's a few weeks for fans to, I don't know, forget about it for a bit, or it doesn't make sense that, if something's working, why are we changing it? And it's not even that it's just working, it's drastically improving. You saw Sterling, that the Olympiacos game, absolutely shut out their winger, moved back to the other side, and he had an absolute blinder. I know, as you say, his minutes, but it's the future of Rangers. The future of Rangers, unfortunately, isn't James Tavernier. He's had his time. It's now time to make that transition, and you know, it's the excuses, what have you. The fans aren't buying it. We need to see players play, and even if Sterling isn't fit, try Casemiro. Try and make the future. It's not gonna just happen overnight. So we need to build foundations. So yeah, Tav, as much as he got I don't know if you'd call it an assist, it was such a strange goal
I
from
thought
that
he
point of
scored
view.
it first. I thought it was
No,
going to
it's
bag it there.
same. I know it's I was for where we had sitting in the club deck. I turned around to my brother. I had no idea who scored. It wasn't until the famous number nine Cyril Desso's commentary. But aye, it's Tav's. It's happened with too many Rangers players that players are going out who have served the club well in a bad light. You look at Alan McGregor, for example, and don't get me wrong, it's completely different circumstances, but Alan McGregor should never have had the leaving of Rangers that he had. He went out, his swan song was that cup game where he came on in the last minute. McGregor, to some, probably possibly younger generations like myself or my wee brother, will see McGregor as that McGregor, the McGregor who three each at Ross County, James Tavernier to some will be known as the guy who's, you know, conceding us goals, what have you. We need to just, it's damage limitation. We need to try and prevent that, and again, just bring in the future. So it's 2 weeks to dwell over it. Don't get me wrong. I don't think for a second that Tav isn't going to start against Dundee United, but it's it's just very much Clement needs to choose what he's doing wisely, because we are, as fans, running out of patience.
Yeah, I agree. I think we should be looking to the future, and if Sterling is the right back that he's going to go with, for me, you play him. I think it was yourself that said Tab's a good option to bring off the bench this season. I agree. I think he is a good option to bring off the bench, but we need to build for the future, and we can't continually play Tav. It'd be a sad way to see him go out if this is the way he's going to go out in terms of his form, because I think folk need to remember we brought in Tav years and years ago when we won the championship for 200 grand for Wigan. So he has been a very, very good servant for Rangers. So it'd be sad if he went out that way, but I don't think he should be playing for Rangers at the moment. I think it should be Sterling or Casemiro, whoever he thinks should be playing right back. The other one in the back line, the who I do not rate at all, was Proper. Came out, which I predicted. I think we all said actually in Club Live. Balogun come back in. What does that say about Proper and a guy that we signed to pretty much? I know Suter's playing the right hand side, but a kind of replacement for Goldson, if you want to say, and Ben Davies obviously leaving. So Proper in Europe, I think is okay, because the teams are playing against, I wouldn't say are as physical. I know there's a lot of hammer throwers in Scotland. I predicted that he wouldn't play because, as I said, there's hammer throwers in Scotland. Hearts are a physical team, and I thought he would struggle. That's why Balogun came in. what does that say in terms of a guy we've signed to be a first choice centre half, and we're having to play our fourth choice centre half for the second season in the trot because he's not good enough?
Yeah, it's if there wasn't red flags already, there is in abundance. I absolutely love Balogun. I think Balogun. One thing that's been coming out of the weekend is praise for his presser. I think Balogun he speaks really well, and as a defender, as you say, mate, he's probably our best defender at the club. So for me, proper. It also speaks a lot about potentially Clement's choice of players he's bringing in because I it would not surprise me if Clement saw him as the straight swap Goldson replacement. And don't get me wrong, Proper had a good pedigree behind him. You know, he captained a FC20 side who are decent in the Netherlands. But definitely for me, ever since that old firm, I can't not unsee what I've seen with Proper. And it's again, it comes back to we'll get caught out because Balogun, as much as he's a physically fit guy, you can see him. He's outstanding. He's an older player. His injury record you've seen is a bit here and there. When we bring in a player like Proper again, is Rangers 1, Hearts 0, Hearts 2, Rangers 1. It's from that point of view, it's pretty concerning, and I don't know. It's very much I'm waiting to almost see what happens if a Balogun gets injured to see where it leaves us. Do you dare say it, bring in a where's Leon King? Where's Inciala? Who's going to need to step up? Because if Proper can't do it, then we're going to need somebody to fill us in. So yeah, Proper for me. I'm hoping that he comes good. Again, we can't because of the situation we're in as a club in terms of the lack of probably depth. We can't fully write players off because we won't have backup. But Proper's on a shaky peg, mate. He's on a very, very shaky peg.
I can write players off, Ross. I'm writing him off. I've seen enough of him. I just think he looks a bit. He's too lightweight for me. For a centre, that's why I say I think he can get away with it to a point in Europe, but in Scotland, you know how these teams play, your St Mirrens and all that. They've got a big guy up front all the time. That's how they play, and he just struggles the physical side of the game for me. And I just don't think he'll make it. If I'm being honest, I hope he proves me wrong. I really do. But he's a guy in January I'd be looking to move off the books. I really would. And I think it tells a story that he can't even play against Hearts because he can't be trusted against Hearts. That tells a story for me. But anyway, into the game. First 10 minutes, I thought Rangers played quite well. The first 10 minutes, to be honest, I thought they were bright. I thought they were on the front foot. And the goal they scored, I thought was a good goal. It was well worked on the left hand side. Ball came across to Tav, who just flashed it across goal. Like I say, I thought he scored, and Dessers was there to just nick it to put in the back of the net. But I don't know what your thoughts were, Ross. But yeah, I thought the first 10 minutes, and I looked at Carney after we scored because he's just along from me, and I thought, yeah, we look up for it and let's kick on.
Yeah, definitely. There was couldn't have got off to a better start. It's a something that I so badly crave is scoring early on in the game. See if you just set the tone right from early, you can't beat it, especially at home at Ibrox. Because if it gets to the 20-30 minute mark and it's 0-0, you know exactly how the crowd's going, especially in the current climate of Rangers. But no, the goal especially, it was the link up play and the just kind of build up in general. That's what we want to see. We want to see goals that gets fans off seats. You saw, even I think it was Tierney who let the ball run through his legs. Just that's a wee bit of at least chemistry coming together. And in terms you could maybe see, positives taken away from it. All 10 minutes of it was players starting to link up well, get some chemistry. But it's then the drop off. Like where's that going? Like football's a 90-minute game. It's 10 minutes is nowhere near, and it's something we've came to frequent seeing this season. That first 5-10 minutes, you're genuinely like, all right, we could go and really kick on, and I don't know what it is. Whether it's a bit of complacency, whether it's would it be a different story if it's away from home? I don't know. I have no idea. But we need to, again, it results back. We'll get caught out because 10 minutes isn't going to cut it, mate. Even against a pretty poor opposition that Hearts are.
Yeah, It's just for me. It's just a continuation of what I've seen at Ibrox this season, and we have been caught out when we went to teams like Kilmarnock, the harder grounds you want to say, in Pittodrie, and we were beaten. So I mean, your eyes don't lie in what you see, but I just thought after that, I just saw him morph back to what I've seen all season: slow, ponderous. Hearts had most of the ball, to be honest, without really hurting us. John Suter tried his best to give them a goal at one point with a short pass back to Butland. And I was like, because Suter's always got on his mistakes in him, and he tried his hardest. But I just thought the rest of the first half kind of petered out. And I was saying to Carney at half time and Scotia and the rest of the guys that we kind of talked to in the club deck, it's boring to watch Rangers at the moment. I mean, as Carney knows, I'm very animated at Ibrox in terms of I'm up and down my seat, I'm shouting and everything. But even I've got to the point where I'm just sitting at Ibrox going, of course this is what it is, and I've actually lost the will to shout at them. It's that boring to watch. It's I don't know what your thoughts were at half time because yes, it's all good and well playing well for the first 10 minutes, but after that, I thought it was awful, to be honest. I thought it was really poor football to watch. This is a game that's on the telly as well, but I thought it was a really poor game of football against a poor Hearts team. Let's not forget that, a very poor Hearts team, um, who at times looked like the home team. Well, I don't know what your thoughts were at half time.
It's exactly the words that I was saying, mate. They looked at the home team. They had their foot in the ball. They were, especially even players like Shankland were, as much as, don't get me wrong, Shankland's a shadow of the player was last season. Just by the way, that was like the fact that people are saying bring him in January, but they were linking up some decent play. Obviously, in the early the second half, they had the chance off the post, but they they were controlling the ball. That, let's be fair, at Ibrox, no team should be controlling the ball domestically like that. We should be coming away at least feeling 1-2-0, but going, yeah, aye, we can maybe experiment if you can bring on I don't know, Igamani. Can we should be comfortably be able to see out a team, especially again as the team that Hearts are just now. But you go into half time, mate, honest, I'm not joking, there was more people speaking about the ongoing Chelsea Arsenal game than there was speaking about Rangers. It was so just, I think fans just accept that they're bored. There was even at times, I turn around to me and somebody's on their phone and it's, you know, fans look forward to the football every week. You work the working week and then your Saturday or Sunday at 5 o'clock. Cheers Rangers. You look forward to going to Ibrox or going away from home. Even even on the telly, mate, at times you're just bored watching it, and there's only so long you can say that for. We as fans should never be saying that, and it speaks volumes that you come away from Ibrox on a consistent basis and you just feel flat. Like, you just feel completely
Yeah,
flat because you know that it will come to, I mean, jinx, the 15th of December, and yeah, at Hampden, we know how it goes because everything that's been leading up to it, all the fundamentals that have been building up, it's not what, as much as it's a cup final and yes, form goes out the window. Realistically, it's not going to be a one off because you see it in front of your eyes. Your eyes don't lie. This We should be building on to then when we get to that stage, be confident. And when was the last time we went into an old firm feeling confident? So it's all just a big build up of just negativity. Let's be fair, and unless we can start putting teams away and just start playing a bit of energetic football, that's not going to change. So yeah, Clement's got a big task on his hand in these next 2 weeks to G up the players, I guess, because there's not not the easiest run of fixtures coming up, and for me, the most important fixtures he'll have as a Rangers manager.
yeah. It's obviously the second half, as you talked about. Hearts missed that right good chance. The boy's got to score for me. I don't know if he was offside or not, but he's got to score. Butland kind of comes for it and stops, but he's got to score. And I'll be honest, the whole second half, Hearts had most of the ball for me, and you could feel it. I mean, we've seen the movie umpteen times with Rangers with these teams, and I think Hearts had a chance with 10, 15 minutes to go. Another right good chance where I thought they should have scored and they didn't. And even us breaking up the park the last couple of minutes with a chance to just really kill the game and end it, we couldn't even do that. And the big talking point also was obviously he made substitutions. We seen it felt like for hours Casemiro and Sterling were standing on the touchline. And I was talking to guys round about, I was going, we're bringing two right backs on here, as we do. Where are they going? And obviously the announcer said that Cherny was coming off. And I was thinking, Christ, we're going to have three right backs in the park again. But obviously Tav came off. He put Casemiro to right back instead of Tav. And he put Sterling in the middle of the park and took Connor Barron off to a chorus of boos from the Rangers support. Clement's come out afterwards and says the reason he took him off was to manage his minutes in terms of they don't want to get him injured going forward. But I just thought it was a sign of where the Rangers support are. I think 90% of the Rangers support have made their mind up in Clement. They know he's not the guy, and decisions like that. I just thought it spoke volumes at Ibrox on Sunday of how the support felt with that decision. I don't know what your thoughts were on that and Barron coming off for Sterling.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's for me, if that is a manager who is flying, who is, in the fans' good books, let's be fair, that probably doesn't happen. Although, fans will be frustrated that Barnes came off, you'll probably look at it in the light of, oh yeah, fair enough, save the lad, he's got some engine on him, he just came away from a pretty tropical climate in Greece, fair play. But it's almost just that was an opportunity for the Rangers fans to let their voices known, and my goodness, were they known. The whole of Ibrox was actually quite incredible. It's the first time I've seen it in person. I remember Dessers got booed off. I think it was an old firm.
Yeah.
I think it was last season, and I was watching that in the house, and I couldn't quite believe what I was seeing. That in the person, it takes your breath away sometimes, and it's just a sobering, harsh reality of where we are as a club. So yeah, again, it's decision making by Clement that won't keep him in the dugout for much longer. But I mean, on if you look at it, if you try and look at it, I guess like fairly, you can see what he's doing. But for me, the talking point wasn't exactly the substitution that he made. It was this is who we are. We are not happy with the team. We are loudly not happy with the team and the people in charge. And again, mate, for Rangers, that should never be the case. We should never go to Ibrox. And I agree with Carney. I'm not a fan of booing the team. I never will. But sometimes you just have to let it happen because fans need a way to get their frustration out in some way. And until we start winning things, that's not going to change. That's not going to change at all.
Yeah, fans pay their money, so they're entitled to do what they want. To be fair, I'm not one for kind of booing stuff like that. But like I say, fans have got the right to do what they want. They pay their money. They're good hand-earned money to do that, so they've got the right to give their opinion. But we obviously made a few other changes. Danilo comes on, McCausland, Kieran Dowell comes on. What does this say for Yanis Hadji, who's sitting on the bench, that can he get on in a game like this when you're kind of looking for a wee bit of magic, somebody that can unlock a door, and you've got a guy in Haji. I'll be honest, Haji for me is not the answer. I mean, Scotia loves Haji to bits, but he's not the answer for me, Haji, going forward. But he is a good squad player. In previous seasons, he has been a good player in terms of he can play that cover ball. He has got intelligence in him. What does that say that Yanis Hadji can't get on over Kieran Dowell?
Wow, just wow. I know he's been playing games in the B team, but that for me, whenever I saw Kieran Dowell line up, again, fair play to the guy. He's a professional footballer. He's living the dream. But come on, I mean, seriously, like Yanis Hadji. I don't know whether there's been a serious just something in the background of Hadji and Clement. Obviously, Clement was very, very reserved about bringing him back. I think there's clearly been some sort of agreement in terms of the contract that he was on. But surely, for the sake of your job, Phil, you bring in a change that will try and light up the crowd again. That for me, that was, if you need somebody to, a tin opener, if you will, that's probably Hadji. Although he won't be the option for the foreseeable season. He won't exactly, win as the treble. It's something different. It's something different. It's something that a player like Diamande, who I do like the guy, but he's not on it just now. Surely that's just a straight number 10 swap. Why do we need to complicate it and bring in a guy like Kieran Dowell, who would probably your number one probably name out of the club in January? It makes no sense. But it's things like that. They all add up. It's the, as you say, the three right backs that. Why are we even considering? Why is that even a thing? The playing players out of position. I don't know. It doesn't make sense, and it all just won't bode well for Clermont. So it's. I mean, times you just sit back and you're seriously like, are we daft? Like, is Clermont seeing some 4D chess that we are not? I don't know. I have no idea. But Kieran Dowell is a cracking song, but he's not the number 10 for Rangers.
Hey, he does have a good song, Devil. Me and Mr. Haymarch like good songs with the Rangers players. That's up there with a few of them. Not as good as the Waka Waka that Mr. Haymarch liked with Sam Sakala. That was a good one. But yeah, you touched on a guy there, Diamande, who's been at Ibrox coming up a year. He came in last January. I still don't know where he plays in the Rangers team. We've seen him play several positions in that midfield. I think he looks lost at the moment. I think he looks like a guy that doesn't know what he's supposed to do. Well, to be fair, I don't think the Rangers team look coached, to be honest, but him in particular, I just don't know what he is. Technically, you can see he's got technical ability. It reminds me of a kind of lighter weight Glenn Kamara, the way he drops his shoulder and can and do that. But I just think he looks lost at the moment, Diamande. I don't know what your thoughts on Diamande is, but obviously we've got a 2 week break here. But I would seriously pull Diamande out of the team at the moment because for me, he's offering absolutely nothing in midfield. And obviously, we're trying to build a foundation with Barn and Raskin, which seems to be decent moving forward at the moment. But Diamande, for me, just looks like a lost soul in the middle of the park. I don't know what your thought is in him.
No, you're spot on, mate. You're spot on. One thing that I absolutely loved about Diamande when he came in is seeing a midfielder taking a shot from outside the box. Honestly, just
He scored as
uh,
well
he
in the
did. I
first
think he
game.
scored. Yeah, he did. Scored home and away. So that for me, whenever he came in, I was absolutely buzzing with him. I don't know what's going on with him, to be honest. I think he's, again, as you say, technically you can see he's got something. He's got, again, a good engine in him, but I think he's very much, say for example, if Cortez comes back, Barami's in the number 10, Raskin and Barron, sorry, they're all secure. If you told me whenever Diamande came in, he wouldn't even be in the question, I'd be shocked because, just he's had such a promising ceiling by the looks of it. And again, it's just whether it's him just almost going through the motions with the whole team just now, whether it is just a lack of confidence, whatever. He's not the player that we saw once, and I hate saying that because again, I do really like the guy, but you can't sugarcoat it. He's been one of the, probably, if his name was James Tavernier, he'd be getting absolutely ripped to shreds. So I'll leave it at that. Dear Monday, I love you, big man, but just you need to pick up the pace just a wee bit.
Yeah, I mean he's reportedly cost Rangers 4.5 million euros, whatever it is, which is decent money for Rangers. Rangers want to do this player trading model, and he's one that they think they can make money on. But at the moment, I look at him and I just think he's lost. Um, Whether if the way the season goes and potentially Clermont loses a job and our manager comes in and can get something out of him because there's a player in him. I think he's technically very good. I just think he's not been coached properly. I just think he looks a bit clueless from middle of the park at the moment. That he's not been given clear instructions to do what he's supposed to do. So yeah, it'll be interesting moving forward at an international break what we do with Diamande going forward because as I say there, the international breaks up. Scotland are bloody back playing, so Scotia will be happy that they're playing. I'm actually quite happy because it gives us a break from Rangers for a couple of weeks. It feels like, because it was international break only last month, I think, as well. So it's been a quick turnaround with that. But Clermont's got another 10 days to 2 weeks, whatever it is, to work with the majority of the players. I know there will be a few out in international duty, but the last international break, like I said, that was a month ago, and he had those 10 days to 2 weeks to work when we came back, and I thought we just went even. I thought we went further backwards, to be honest. But this was a big 2 weeks for him, because you'd like to think maybe, and this guy ain't the answer either. Matondo might be back, which then frees Barami to play in the 10 potentially. But there's big games coming up. The Old Firm, obviously, in the cup final, which we'll touch on soon in terms of the tickets just got announced today. But that's massive for me, for Clermont. He's got to win that, and we all know in our hearts of hearts probably how that game's going to go. We'll probably either get battered, or we'll actually put a spirited performance in. Then they'll nick a goal and win it 1-0. It usually happens. So that it's. What's your thoughts on this 2 week international break in terms of Clermont and Rangers moving forward from now until pretty much the cup final?
At the moment, thank goodness for sanity. I think it's probably well needed. No, I do think that it's, again, this is the most important period for Clermont for me in his Rangers tenure. I've got a list of fixtures just at my side. So you've obviously Dundee United at home's the next game.
On a
You can
Saturday as well.
on a
Thank very much.
Saturday. Just wow, absolutely. I'm so there for it. You've then got Nice away, St Johnstone away, Kilmarnock at home, which I believe is a evening game, I think.
I think it's on
Then
Wednesday.
yeah, then Ross County away, and obviously Tottenham and Celtic in the final. Those on paper, don't get me wrong, your teams like St Johnstone you've taken care of. They're not the easiest fixtures in the world, especially like a Kilmarnock at home who don't obviously don't like the like world beaters, but they don't look too bad this season. I I don't think if Clement drops points, he'll say he drops points to a St Johnson or a Kilmarnock. I don't think his job will go then. His job will go in that mid December game against Celtic. That for me is the they've been saying, oh, I have a chairman in hopefully by Christmas time. It's all lines up potentially for a one in, one out in terms of you'd hope the hires up in the club in. Could that be the eventual nail in the coffin for Clement that's just came at that timing? That and the fact that I hate saying that, we already can kind of picture how it's going, but again, it's what we come to know with Rangers and old firms. We need players like your what Raskins are showing just now, like Barnes showing players who are showing a bit of promise. And Clement has 2 weeks to try and do that with at minimum another 9 players in the park. So I don't know what Clement's gonna have in his Weetabix to get that sorted, but he needs to seriously pull out some sort of magic because the next 2 weeks for me, mate, is for his job's sake, it's defining, completely defining.
Yeah, I think, and obviously when we'll come on and we'll cover the cup final near the time, but it's I agree. I think Clement's now played Celtic. Is it 5 times? I think round about that, 5 or 6 times, maybe 5 times. Not as he's not won one game. Obviously, we played the cup final against them in the Scottish Cup last season. We were unlucky, but how many hard luck stories we had as Rangers fans against Celtic? I think Ryan's favourite tag is always the bridesmaid, never the bride, in terms of it. But yeah, I think that's defining for him because yeah, if you look at the domestic games on paper up to that, they're tough, but Rangers should be winning them. I know we're playing Kilmarnock at home. If we can't beat Kilmarnock at home, we might as well chuck it all together. Away at St Johnstone, who are going all right under their new manager, but again, we should be beating these teams. Tottenham, for me, will take care of itself. Again, it's Europa League. It's at Ibrox. Would Rangers maybe get a bounce in that game going into the cup final? You never know. They've done it before years ago under Gio when we went to extra time against. I think it was Braga at the time.
Aye.
Was it Braga? I'm trying to think it was. It might have been Braga. And then we went and played in the semi-final of the Scottish Cup. We went to extra time and beat Celtic. So it'll be interesting. But I think I think it is a defining moment for Clermont in terms of if they can muddle through these league fixtures and get to that. But if they can't go over the line against them, yeah, I can't see him turning it around. That's a massive game for Clermont because he has to beat them. He has to get one over Brendan Rodgers. And let's be honest about it, Celtic, and a lot of Rangers fans won't like to hear this, but Celtic are a better team than Rangers. They've got better players. They're coached better. But as you say, it's a one-off cup final. Anything can happen. But as we all know, we've been there as Rangers fans for years, and we know how it goes. So that there'll be a lot of fans, I'll be honest, probably dreading going to the cup final. And it'll be interesting, our league form going into the cup final. We need to get some sort of momentum going instead of this ponderous, slow football at the moment. It's really poor to watch. We need to get something and a couple of players back so we can free up players, as I said, like a Barami in the 10. Need pace in the team. We are such a slow team. I've never seen a team break so slowly than we do. And players like Matondo, and as I say, Matondo ain't the answer, but he'll add pace and he'll free Barami up. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. But as I say, there's a lot of football to play before we get to the 15th of December in a month's time. So we'll see where we are at that point. But as I talk about the cup final, Ross, the emails dropped today. In fact, the MyJers updates was dropped today in terms of your points and where you sit. In gold, there's now 3,599 members. In silver, there's 15,670 members. And in bronze, there's 28,371 members. So today we got the email from Rangers. So all the gold members, as of now, can go on and get their ticket for the Old Firm. And then as of Thursday from 9 o'clock till the Monday, people in silver with 1,494 points plus can go on and get a ticket for the final. It'll be interesting. I've talked to quite a few people, Ross, that actually don't want to go to the game because they know, as we've just talked about, what they think is going to happen. But ultimately, the Rangers will sell their allocation out easy. But yeah, the dreaded MyJers points have come out. Folk will be disappointed. But it is what it is. It's supply over demand. There's too much demand to the supply. So what's your thoughts on the tickets coming out today? I know I just talked to you beforehand in terms of that's where you need to be in terms of getting a ticket for the game.
Yeah, I think it's probably just it's the way football goes just now. I've got a good mate of mine who's a Newcastle fan actually, and it's very much he's saying the same thing. It's just it's all tiered. It's all There's ways to make money out of go along to the football, buying your merch, buying your external season tickets, whatever. It is what it is. It's just the way that football is seen as a business, and it's just the way of it. Rangers will 100% sell at the allocation. Even in the you know, dare I say it, we end up further points behind. Until then, it'll still be a sellout. It'll still be hopefully a cracking atmosphere. But yeah, it's the whole managers thing. I don't know. It's still it makes sense. It does make sense. And obviously, if you are high in the gold members, you're taps off, you're buzzing. But for fans, will you like when's the realistic time that fans will see their first Old Firm or whatever? It is frustrating, mate. But again, as it is, football's very much a business.
But it's geared up to that. You need to have a MyJers. I don't. It's a money thing. There's a lot of guys that have been going to iBooks for 40 odd years. They probably might not even have a MyJers, and they can't go to the game because they don't have a MyJers. So you basically need to pay the 40 quid every year. That's why me and Scotia, as I told you off camera, we're quite high in silver. So we'll always probably get a ticket for these games, but that's why we pay the money. We don't pay it for anything else. It's for to get semis and finals. That's what we do. So and the guys in gold will always be in gold because they get all the stuff, so they'll always be in gold. So off it is what it is, but aye, there we go. We've hit the 40-minute mark there, Ross. I wondered how we'd got on tonight, but we've hit the 40-minute mark. I did see something which taken away for Rangers. I don't know if you've seen it on Twitter today, which I found quite funny. Bonnie Rose in the League Two of Scotland have been deducted 6 points today. Have you seen it on Twitter? Have you
No,
not
no,
seen
what's
it?
this?
Do you know why they were deducted 6 points?
Why is that?
You'll never guess. Because of a slope on their pitch.
Jigs. Dundee have been let off a belter there for
I
last
know,
season.
and the club are asking fans to help raise £120,000 to help level the pitch out. So,
Should take it like a.
I thought that sums up Scottish football. I thought it was quite funny because years ago, I'm sure it was Motherwell. I'm sure it was Motherwell because their pitch is probably one of the best pitches in Scotland now. But years ago, I'm sure they had pretty much a slope in their pitch. But I found that quite funny, so I thought I'd end it in a wee bit of humour there. So it's not a laughing matter for Bonnie Rose, to be honest, because they've been deducted 6 points. But
Aye.
I just thought, Christ, that's Scottish football for you, innit? But yes, that is us. We have covered pretty much everything. I think it's an international break, obviously, so there probably won't be much Rangers news, but you never know in the world of Rangers. There may be some interesting news that will break. But we will be back on Friday with Club Live. I'm not sure who will be on. I know Mr. Carney, I think, will be back. I think myself will be back. I'm not sure if you'll be on, Ross, on Friday. Are you
I'll
going to
need
be
to
on
see. I'll
Friday?
need to be continued. I
You'll
shall.
need,
I
you'll
shall
need to
try my
check.
best to be on.
You'll need to check your diary. So we'll see. There'll be a few of us on anyway. And I don't know if we're doing a question answer, but Mr. Carney will bring that out in the next couple of days. But yes, I would like to thank my one and only guest for coming on tonight. Thank you very much for tonight, Ross, and another very negative podcast.
Thank you. Yes, wouldn't have it any other way. Wouldn't have it any other way. No, it's no. Just these next 2 weeks, very much just regrouping, resetting, and getting ready for it all over again. It'll come to next week, and I'll miss Rangers already. For now, I'm very much just riding the high wave of life without Rangers. But until 2 weeks' time, I shall remain a happy lad. But no, thank you as always, mate. I think we've done quite well there, and yeah, I shall hopefully see you all on Friday.
Yeah, I know you don't drink, Ross, but on a Saturday 3 o'clock for me, Mr. Carney, Scotia, and Haymarch and all that's what we love a Saturday at 3 o'clock because you can go to the Viceroy, have a few drinks, come back, have some more drinks. So we've not been able to do it because we've been in bloody Europa League, so everything's been bumped onto the Sunday. So this wee date has been earmarked in the calendar. So regardless of Rangers playing, we will be making a day of it on Saturday. I have green lighted it with my missus, so she knows about it as well. But yes, thanks for coming on, Ross. We have been Club at 22, the Rangers podcast, and we will see you on Friday. Thank you very much.